So good afternoon. I apologize that my French is really very poor to communicate with you these 2 beautiful days in French, including during the session, but I am well helped by the team of Marco. And I'm really happy being with you. I can only guess that in the previous talk, there was some comparison, I think, between Bretagne and Quebec, or between France and Quebec in some way. And I should say there are also similarities and many common features between Scotland or Quebec and Scotland, if you know what I mean. And whatever future developments will be in Quebec and in Scotland, so life will show, but I hope these developments will be towards sustainability. Yeah. Why I was saying about sustainability, you know, I would like just to remind ourselves that there are some hundreds of definitions of sustainability and sustainable development, but all agreed that there are 3 building blocks: environmental, ecological, economic, and social. And we are now living in turbulent times, and all problems could come from inside each of these blocks. Like, for instance, marginalization could come from some improper development within the society, or environmental problems could have some relevance to pollution, air, plastic, etc. Then there could be also problems between these building blocks, so how they interact, trade-offs between them, and then whether the whole system is well balanced. So what can we do, and what shall we do to address all this complexity of challenges, and also in different places, different scales, this phenomena are very complex. And in Europe, especially within the EU, we have various policies, like policies of green recovery, Green Deal policy, and it brings arguments that after especially the pandemic, because it was in the focus of all the problems in the center, and of course along with climate change caused problems and losses of biodiversity, but the pandemic was during the last 2 years in the center. So after the pandemic, what should we do? Should we really restore the previous our previous style of life and use of nature? And maybe all this disbalance is just caused, but because we don't use our social and ecological systems in a proper way. Or should we transform the course of action more and more towards long-term sustainability in living with nature and using it? Because in the long run, biodiversity conservation, climate neutrality, all these policy goals we now have come along with human prosperity, with human well-being, human health. And crucial is to enhance the resilience, sustainability, circularity of social ecological systems, because we are part of nature, to reverse the course of degradation of nature, and to enhance green, digital, and healthy futures. These tasks require local actions. They are strategic, but require actions very often bottom up. But are we committed and motivated? Do we have enough of capabilities and resources? And could the COVID be actually a trigger, but also a catalyst for steering sustainability transformation? COVID interconnects economic, environmental, climate, and health crisis. And it has multiplied the need for behavioral changes and for immediate and adequate societal responses to be strategic by nature, but with actions to be taken at a local level. The UN policy documents and documents at the European level and national documents have identified priorities for action to build back better. But how can social innovation help in this regard? Can social innovation promote sustainability transformation? Yes, indeed, our research has shown that it has opened new prospects to foster positive changes. And this talk will be about this project on social innovation in marginalized rural areas, and with a special focus in Mediterranean areas, but also particular in Scotland, where coordination came from. What processes are observed in marginalized rural areas in Europe? Maybe, again, there are some similarities, quite some with developments observed elsewhere in the developed world. These are out migration and aging of population in rural areas, and population drift from smaller villages to larger villages and to towns. And this often causes closures of services like health services provision or transport systems, and it threatens in a way capacity for endogenous advance of the areas which are remote. This is the observation observed. This is phenomena developments observed in many countries. There are, of course, different patterns, but the general situation is as such. But positive changes are also there, like diversification of economy, rural economy. We know that now agriculture is not only on agriculture, it's often agroforestry, it's often agritourism, agroecology restructuring is going on, or we know that post-productivism, this term has appeared, and multifunctionality in forestry, agriculture, and rural development in general. Then changes in infrastructure, I mean, not only development of roads or communication facilities, but also digitalization. We also have this project, the Zira, funded by Horizon 2020, changing lifestyles in a way that we can work remotely, we can have more of also free time to spend with nature, to spend, for instance, doing recreation activities and other. But there are positive characteristics in this development, but there are many challenges, and especially in marginalized rural areas. So, what shall we do? We, of course, can support small businesses, local value chains, infrastructure development, digital growth. We could exploit green spaces, opportunities, and nature-based solutions, and many other. But social innovation for marginalized rural areas is becoming really important. What is social innovation? I know scientists in Canada have explored this topic quite intensively, as well as in England, for instance. But our perception is that social innovation is about quality of life, human well-being. I think it's a common perception of all the scientists in a way. Then it's about new social relationships and collaboration. It's about innovative governance. It's about justice, social cohesion, and territorial cohesion, sustainable, smart, and inclusive growth. We think that social innovation is about processes, definitely, but so it's also about ideas, about final products, but it's a process from the start to the final product. It involves ideas, products, services, arrangements, relationships, fields of activity, and to meet social needs, so to make life of people eventually better. Social innovation, according to the CIMRA definition, so we can have, again, as with sustainability, we have plenty of definitions, but our definition is it's a reconfiguration of social practices in response to societal challenges, which seek to enhance outcomes on societal well-being and necessarily includes the engagement of civil society actors. Social innovation opens new opportunities and it responds to pressing social demands. And what's important, especially to the demands that could hardly be addressed by existing public institutions, for instance, when public money is deficient or when markets don't work like for public goods and services. So then social innovation is of particular interest to explore. So the project I coordinated is just finished in 2020 with CIMRA, Social Innovation in Marginalized Rural Areas. It included 26 partner organizations from 15 countries, and it addressed social innovation in forestry, agriculture, and rural development. And I show here the link to the CIMRA project. And also, actually, if you then receive maybe from organizers this PowerPoint presentation, I also put hyperlinks to everything that I mentioned. If I, because of the shortage of time, I will not be able to deeply explain everything, but I provide hyperlink, you click, and hopefully you will go on the website and you could read the paper or some document that I mean. So the CIMRA improved existing understanding of what is social innovation, how it can start, how to enhance its development. It conceptualized social innovation, explained its variability, diversity, analyzed triggers, enabling success factors and also barriers for social innovation. It advised how social innovation can help reviving communities and add to bringing prosperity to marginal rural areas. So it can only be a kind of contributor to the goal, along with public policies and market other incentives and other mechanisms. How to initiate, develop, and spread social innovation is an important issue, and we analyzed it, and also there are documents and papers, 50 papers in top-level scientific journals in the field were published, and you could also have access to this through the link. Then we analyzed what's the impact of social innovation and how this impact can be evaluated, and how to build capacities and develop collaborations for practical implementation of through social innovation of sustainability transformation on the ground. Important that we, of course, we promote using transdisciplinary approach in our research to do our work with people from the beginning, engage with people, and actually they are not, it's not that we validate our results with people, but they are active. So we have scientific lab and we have stakeholder labs, laboratories. So these are living labs, and we work together, and we had in CIMRA 3 levels of stakeholder engagement. So it was multi-story living labs. And we went from system knowledge through transformation knowledge to the target knowledge, and for it to be applied, not only theoretical, as I mentioned, journal papers, and for special journal issues were organized as well. And, but we also changed all perceptions about social innovation. kind of try to empower people on the ground that they could make a change. And this motivation, enthusiasm meant a lot. And I mentioned already evaluation methods and tools to analyze social innovation. They were used by the European Commission, by policy people, but also in research agencies and in projects, and very interesting output of our work with a catalog of diversity of social innovations. And we produced a unique database of social innovation examples for Europe. And it's unique not only because it has 450 examples and 243 validated examples of social innovation in agriculture, forestry, rural development, but also because it shows all the diversity and all the characteristics of social innovation and how social innovation evolves. So why it could have divergent paths in their development, and how to promote success stories and learn from lessons not so successful, so to say. We worked precisely in 24 case studies and 7 innovation actions, but we went, of course, much beyond. In case studies and innovation actions, so people on the ground developed together with us through their doing by learning, social learning, and proactive engagement in innovation actions. They develop new processes, income streams, new business models. For instance, in Lebanon, sustainable jobs were given to 100 women with they were selling online natural products marketed with ecological products, and it improved household and promoted gender equality, but also the well-being in these villages. Also, other examples involve, for instance, firefighters in Spain, Catalonia. So people from local communities involved in fighting fires together, or they actually in parallel with firefighters. Or in Morocco, 13 Argan cooperatives promoted again independence of women, 300 women. Or in dairy producers in Tunisia, improved value chains and productivity, and improved the livelihood of people living in these areas of Tunisia. We published, you can look online, policy guides in 5 languages and policy guides in 6 languages, and guidance for practitioners in 5 languages. And they were also quite well met by people. So I have come to Scotland, so I am trying to rush quicker. And so some examples from Scotland, social innovation. For instance, in Braemar community, it was a village of, it is a village of 400 people, most remote in Deeside. Deeside is actually where the Balmoral Palace of the Queen of Her Majesty the Queen is located, but it's one of the most areas in the Cairngorms National Park. And sometimes it was cut by bad weather, poor services, poor grid connections, energy poverty, and various other issues I already explained for marginalized areas, specific in Europe, maybe not only in Europe. So what people have done, they established a community development trust to oversee projects through feasibility studies and advising how to improve the situations. They used social capital also of people, for instance, having second homes in this beautiful, very beautiful place, or retired people who return to their homes. So social capital of newcomers as well. And they established a network of enterprises and helped each other to really change the situation. There are many projects under this, in this community, under this kind of hub or this network of this community development trust. And one more example, the social innovation in Loch Carron. It's also a very remote area. And what people do here, in addition to for instance, provision of health and social care for elderly, as it was in Braemar as well as here, but they also decided to buy a forest managed by the Forestry Commission initially, and to change it into multifunctional and more beneficial for people, for communities, but also more attractive for even for tourists from abroad. So the innovative idea was here, innovative process, innovative project, and they were very successful indeed, because also as a hub, this initiative has evolved and have provided local employment, income, well-being, and professional training, skills development, etc. I will probably skip this because, right, Shelley? Oh, okay, then I will skip. It's about innovation action in Aberdeenshire, welcoming refugees. And we hope it's about Syrian refugees, but we are now also welcoming Ukrainian, for instance, refugees, which I am very happy with. And so what is underpinning the final two slides? What's underpinning social innovation? Of course, creativity and motivation is lying in the heart. Then, as always, whatever we do, these are capabilities, opportunities, and yeah, resources, of course, are needed. And very important was mentioned today, the role of experiments. So this niche development is very important for trials and pilots, and then for upscaling best solutions to promote transitions. Very important policy interventions, because in a positive way, because some policy interventions could work the other way around, but some interventions that promotes innovation, so creation of innovation ecosystems, then strong social capital and human capital, and new opportunities, be the right time, the right place, of course, very share knowledge, co-learning, learning from the past, and empower actors and foster collaborations, different in different countries, and therefore we were very active. We have been very active also after the completion of project with the training under various platforms, including our new project Sherpa and the Zero, our new Horizon 2020, also within the FAO Mountain Research Initiative and others. So concluding observations that social innovation is very important to make a change, to contribute to making positive change towards sustainable development. And it's important to look and find solutions how to upscale it or outscale. It should not be only upscaled, it could be replicated also in a way and spread in a different way. Yes, and you could read or you could access at least the web page and find we have also many brochures there, etc. It would be good to somehow link social innovation or do more research linking social innovation to bioeconomy, development to bioeconomy and circular economy, to climate and environmental challenges, more, I think, to health and especially mental health, and perhaps analyzing perceptions and motivations of actors and also people on the ground about opportunities of social innovation in making a difference would be good knowing. So this is, thank you very much. And my email and links to our 2 projects, one SIMRA finished and Sherpa is ongoing. And yeah, thank you very much.